from the MCPLive.tv studios, located in downtown Conroe, it's the Conroe Art League, live.
Hello, and welcome to Cal Live, the show that tells you what you need to know about the Conroe Art League, its talented artists, and the wonderful people who make it such an amazing part of the Conroe community. I'm Susan Gramachis. I'm delighted to be your host, and today my guest is George Bramlett. George is the current shows and exhibits coordinator for the Conroe Art League, as well as an award-winning oil painting and graphite artist. A little bit about George. He was born in El Reno, Oklahoma. He was an engineer for the Rock Island Railroad and the Burlington Northern, a hydrocarbon engineer, and he was also an electrical technician at a power plant. After he retired, he moved to Texas to be closer to his family. He's been married for 40 years and has 4 grown children. And an interesting personal note, after George retired, he rode with BACA, Bikers Against Child Abuse, for almost 10 years. He made Apache tear necklaces for abused children and told them about the legend of the Apache tear. And we're going to learn a little bit more about that in a minute. George is actually part Native American himself, and that's played a significant role in the subject matter of his art. So I am so excited to get George on the show, and as you can see, we have quite an interesting person to interview, and we'll get right to it. So welcome to the show, George.
Glad to be here.
We're delighted that you're here. All right, let's get right to it. When did you start painting, and what is your favorite medium?
Seriously, right after I retired. I started seriously getting after it after that. Well, after I rolled with BACA, I started really painting a lot then. And I broke my foot more or less, and my wife says, you're not just going to sit around doing nothing, so I started painting again. Okay, so...
It forced you into doing it,
right?
Yeah,
but I enjoy it. As far as the medium goes, I love it all, really. And so I do a lot of oil paintings, but when I take a break, I'll do a portrait of graphite, just kind of change the pace a little bit, or do a sculpture, whatever.
Are you self-taught?
Yes.
Or, really?
Yes, self-taught.
Really? Well, I love everything. I've looked at all your site and all the wonderful things you do, and there's so many things we can talk about. One of the things that I particularly like are your paintings of the cars, the old cars and trucks. Yeah. And I think we've got one that we're going to bring up right away to talk about and show. This is an example of... Well, first of all, tell me what drew you to do that to begin with.
I like old cars. I've had old cars in the past. I just love the classics. And also, when you go to see a car, it brings back memories, back in the day. So I thought I'd just do some old cars. And naturally, they're all sitting out in the field getting rusty. So why not get the patina out there?
Yeah. Well, and they're so detailed. I mean, it's amazing when I looked at it, I just couldn't believe how close you get to everything. It's very detailed, very...
I kind of get tunnel vision.
Thought after. Wow, I think they're... So you do cars and trucks, but you're also an amazing portrait artist. And first of all, that's such a big transition. Is it hard to transition from one to the other? Is one harder than another?
No.
Really?
Not to me, that.
Wow. Well, to me, it's just fascinating that you can be so good at both. Many of your subjects are Native Americans, and you say
That's because I was in Oklahoma, so a lot of Native Americans there. So
and you're part Native American.
Yes, Walpole.
So that has obviously influenced your art.
Oh yeah, as far as the Indian art goes,
the culture. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So. Tell me about the legend of the Apache tear. Tell me that legend.
Okay, the Apache tear. It was the Pinnock Apaches in Arizona. There was a bad winter, very bad winter, and so they sent all their warriors out to look for food. And the only food they found was at a settlement, and they just took enough cattle to feed the family. Okay, so on the way back, they camped out, but they got ambushed by the military and the settlers, so The first volley of shots, 50 of them died, and the other ones ran out of arrows and jumped off a cliff rather than be killed by the white man. So at the bottom of this cliff for the next day for a whole full moon, all the loved ones were crying for the loss of their kids, the warriors. And so the Great Spirit looked down and turned their tears, saw them crying, turned their tears into these stones. And it says, once polished up, you can see the tear of the Apache. So you hold it up to the sun and you can see through it. And I tell the kids, same thing. I said, once you have this, you'll never have to shed another tear again because all the tears have been shed and you release that spirit from Mother Earth.
Oh,
And
that's
so
a
that's the story.
beautiful legend. And then you got inspired into making all these necklaces
No, you
and
bet.
giving
It
them
helps
to
the kids out.
children. Absolutely. And I think we have a picture of the necklaces as well that we'll see in a minute. All these. You said how many have you made in all?
I'd say over 1,000. I mean, because they're as box we had internationally, and they wanted it over there, overseas. So I made quite a few.
There
quite
they
a few.
are.
Well,
And so each one's different. Each one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You gotta
yeah.
make everyone different.
Oh, I think that. Well, and that's. I think you have one.
Well,
on.
that's my original one. I did that one I got at the hog rally, but I put the crystal on the bottom, so I want a little positive energy at the same time.
Exactly. Well, the children, I'm sure for
Oh,
them
they
that
love
was
it.
so
Oh, you bet.
special. What a beautiful legend and
Mm-hmm.
a wonderful thing you did for these children. So, George, how is your personality reflected in your art? Tell me, do you, when you get into it and you start working on your art, do you, are you thinking of something in particular? What draws you to?
Yeah, it's focus. It's all about focus. Once you start getting into it, like I said, if I'm playing music in the background,
Yeah.
it'll get to the point where I don't even hear the music. And people come in, I don't hear them. You got to get focused on, and each little part, like when you do a painting or a drawing, each part that you do, if you go that one step further and do just a little more detail, that brings it more to life. And that's what I try to do in each one. And I try to make each one I do more of a challenge than the last, or at least a challenge.
Oh,
Okay. So,
you must be a very patient person when you do
well,
this.
as my wife says, only in painting.
Because the detail is amazing, and I always think, well, for you to take the time to get it just where you want it to go, and each, like you said.
Well, that's the
just-
fun part.
Yeah. So, did you have any influencers as you started your getting into art? And
Well, I tell you, a lot of the friends and the family that I have, they really pushed and they encourage me more when I show my work and share my artwork, and the response is just excellent. It just gives me more enthusiasm to keep on doing what I'm doing. So it's the friends and family and the people I know that's pushed me.
Yeah.
And the Art League, there's so many talented artists there. I'm just honored to be there and be around all that creativity, as they say, So I enjoy that.
I was going to ask you how important that being a part of that community is for you, and I imagine it's great because
It
you
is.
get so much support, and you're like a big family, and can
And you see all many types of art, which is great.
exactly all the different types that are there. Where do you paint? You at home?
I actually got a room in the house, okay, but when I was in Oklahoma, it was actually a light stand in the kitchen. But I moved to a room now.
Oh, there you go. George, is there anything that you've done that you are more attached to than others, or that you find impossible to give away, that it means a lot to you, or is your favorite piece, or are they all works that you eventually put up for?
I put everything into each work that I do, so that I can't really say anything's more special. I did one of a portrait for this lady that's in Hollywood that didn't know what her father was for 48 years, and actually did some DNA to find him. And I just happened to be in Ohio for that, so I sent her. I said I'd do the pitch for him, and he sent it to her, and she really likes it. I mean, because they bonded.
Of course.
So
wow.
I enjoy doing that because I get more reaction for the people that I do it for, what it means to them. You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh, it had such a personal.
Yeah. So I've
part
done
of
a
it.
lot of stuff like that and I enjoy that the most.
Yeah. And the ones that you do of the Native Americans, are they from pictures or are they actual people that you've...
Well, that one that I did with that one spirit, it was actually at a powwow, and I have a photographer friend, and he took that picture, and he takes several, and I was looking through his photo, and I said, man, that would be a really good painting. So I did from that, and tried to put my own little touch in it, but yeah.
Yeah.
But it came out real well.
Oh, it's amazing. That's the one that's up now that we just...
Yeah, I call it One Spirit, him and the horse.
Just amazing. Well, what's on the agenda next? Well, I know you just finished the owl.
Right.
So we need to look at the owl, because that was, I think, the last one that you did. And I cannot even begin. I told you when you showed it to me, I said, how do you do that? It is, I mean...
Well, I didn't tell anybody about the reflection in the eye either.
No. And there is a reflection in the eye. You have to look at it really close, but
yeah.
It is...
They'll have to come see it next month at the gallery.
There you go.
There
you go. It'll be up in the gallery, and it's just, I mean, it is the feathers, amazing.
Had fun.
So how long does something like that take you?
It took me a while because I had two knee replacements. I had a knee replacement surgery, so I couldn't sit down for any length of time or do anything because it hurt so bad. So that took a little bit longer than expected. Okay, but I can't really say. I always tell them as long as it takes. Okay.
Yeah. When do you know that it's finished?
That's tough because, you know, I can go back and I can nitpick it to death, you know, but I have to finally say, done. You know, just walk away.
Yeah. Well, when you're a perfectionist, it's almost like, does it need one little more thing?
Exactly.
It's very hard. Well, that was amazing. And I also know that I have to congratulate you because we just had the Cal Spring art show, and you won first place for your graphite drawing.
In the drawing category.
And so that one is this one that is being shown right now, and it's Wisdom.
Right.
Tell me about this one.
I liked it because, you know, she's looking at her, she's thinking something, and I just did it for the challenge because I love the wrinkles. I love it because if you do wrinkles, you will never see a really line. So I just, anything is a challenge, so that's why I did it.
Was that from a photograph, or was that...
Yes, that was from a photograph. I couldn't find that old woman no place.
I was going to say, I just wonder where you know, if you ran across something like that. Or...
But it's a challenge. That's why I did it.
Well, she is, again, just the detail is so incredible.
Well,
and now, what's going to be next?
I don't know. That's the toughest part of the whole thing, what to do next. I don't know yet.
How do you just get an inspiration and
more
then you
less,
just decide, okay,
yeah.
well, I'm going to, you see a
more,
photograph? Or
see a photo, look at pictures, see what would touch people and what would touch their heart more or less.
Yeah. Well, I know what's hanging in the gallery now. Wisdom, I guess.
Wisdom
hanging,
is,
yes.
yeah, wisdom.
So we need to encourage everybody
to
come
on
get out to the gallery and come see this incredible show, the spring show. There were some magnificent pieces.
It was good artwork there. Yes, it was.
And it's a treat to see what's hanging in the gallery and help you to appreciate more what talent, the great talent that we have in this community. So George, I am so thankful that you came and that you were my guest today. And as you represent the talent, such great talent that we have. So everyone, please come out to the Conroe Art League and help together as we create, appreciate, and learn. George, thanks again for coming today.
Thanks for inviting me.
And please join us on our next show. Thank you. Bye.